Hello and welcome to episode 13 of the Nerds at Large Gaming Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Darby Hallman.
I'm the other host, Jeff Mayo.
And we have an exciting show planned. We actually have some decent post-E3 news. We have our E3 bets, the results to that finally, and many other good things. But before we get to that, Jeff, how are you?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing alright. What have you been playing recently, Jeff?
What have I been playing? Okay. Only new thing is really, I got Bomberman. Super Bomberman R for the Switch. Played that with some friends. You went out there?
I was not there. I was busy running around the beach, relaxing.
Yeah.
Well, how was Bomberman? Because there's been some like controversy when it first came out, right?
Yeah. Main thing was, and I understand this, is not necessarily content to justify the price. For people who don't know or can't remember, it's $50.
Yeah. Which for something like Bomberman, I would you'd expect more of it to be a smaller type thing, yeah. But from what you said, they've added a lot more content since the launch.
I think they did. I think they just added some stages, and some of it was like specific gameplay stuff, like frames and everything, and. Just little stuff that kind of took away from it. They seem to have mostly fixed that, and just reception went from when it first came out was kind of mad to like, okay, this is Bomberman. Which I went in wanting Bomberman. I'm getting Bomberman.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played Bomberman in a long time, but I'd love the older ones that I've played.
Yeah.
So,
and it's one of those cases of it's still maybe a little expensive, but there's. I don't know. I love games I play with my friends. There's not really any game like it.
And especially, I think right now we're just looking for some fun thing to play local multiplayer in the Switch.
Yeah.
It's just So, I mean, it probably should be priced less, but if you have a group of friends,
Yeah. And luckily, it's one of those games that works perfectly fine with just each person is using one Joy-Con.
Okay. Yeah, I would expect that the controls wouldn't have to be that intense. Well, have you played anything else besides Bomberman?
Not really.
Mostly been working?
Well, yeah. I play a little bit as well. I got a couple more shrines down.
Okay.
Working. Gonna at some point just sit down and just do it.
You getting really close?
Yeah. I've said, I'm trying to just get done with all 120 shrines. I got over 100 right now. So I'm close. Look to see maybe what kind of interesting side quests to do. And
straight to Ganon after that?
Straight to Ganon.
Nice.
Shouldn't take that long.
I played, I said last week, I beat The Witcher 3 finally. I'm a few hours into Hearts of Stone. I'm already loving it. It's so good. But other than that, I actually bought Injustice 2. I've been trying to get Catwoman combos down so I can not suck anymore. And I'm doing fairly good at that goal. But I also started the Injustice 2 story.
Cool.
Still very early in it, really too early to talk about it too much.
Yeah.
But so far, I'm liking the vibe it has. I'm liking the characters already. I already am falling in love with Green Arrow and Captain and Black Canary's relationship. And so I've already loved them, and I hope that they're in it more. And it obviously kind of has that fighting game story type thing where it's every cutscene, there's kind of restraints to what the cutscene can do because every cutscene is just a bridge for you to get to another fight, and just how are these characters going to end up having to fight someone else? There's a lot of that going on, and some of the voice acting is a little weird, but for the most part, I'm really enjoying it, and I'm excited to play more of it. It's probably a game I'll probably just plow through the main story.
Yeah, I mean, it's not crazy long, so.
Yeah.
Unless you really suck.
I mean, I'm decently bad, but I think I'm about just as bad as you are, so if it didn't give you that much trouble, then it shouldn't give me too much more trouble.
Gotta learn to cheese it, Darby. The best way to cheese it with each character.
Yeah. I did shoot a lot of Green Arrow arrows against Bane or whoever it was, so.
Good.
They got the last giant section of his health bar down that way because I just didn't feel like it.
Did you use the boxing glove arrow?
I did not. I don't think I know the input for that.
For shame.
I know. I don't even know how you change the arrows. I think I was just doing it randomly. I didn't realize how I was doing it.
I can show you later.
Okay, yeah, that doesn't make for good podcasting. But other than Witcher and Injustice, I really haven't played anything else. But I mean, that was enough. I had no life to Witcher for a night. Like I just played and played and played and played. Game's so good. But Jeff, we have a packed show, and by the way, just so you guys know, our E3 prediction thing, we were waiting this long because we thought we could get Will in here. Alas, we did not. Will was not able to join us, so we're just doing it anyway without him. We already recorded that segment, so if there's any weird transitions or anything, that's why we're speaking to you from the future, the past, whatever. So we have a pretty packed show. I think that was a very eventful thing. You should definitely watch that. It was a lot of fun. So stay tuned for that. So let's get into the news and get through this because we already have a pretty stacked show.
Yep.
So news jingle, Jeff.
Jingle, jingle, jangle.
I forgot last week. I realized I was listening back and I realized I
forgot. We need a real jingle.
We do need a real jingle.
We need a lot of things.
We need a great deal of things. Well,
okay.
I think we should get started, Jeff.
We're going to start with by far the biggest news story.
Yes.
That we're lucky was released not long before we did this.
Yep. If we had done this a little bit earlier, it would be bad. Yep. It would have been very obsolete.
Okay. This information/news comes from Joe Scrabbles and Jathan Dornbush from IGN.
Like 90% of the news we get.
Yes. Because I have trouble looking at other places. I'm so used to IGN.
Oh, and those two writers do a lot.
That too. Okay. Nintendo has announced the Super NES Classic Edition and announced that it will be released on September 29th of this year at a suggested retail price of $79.99 US. So, SNES Classic. Get hyped.
Yeah, you weren't able to get an NES Classic, so yeah, let's just go ahead and move on.
Yep. Okay, the follow-up to the NES Classic Edition, which will be called the Nintendo Classic Mini Super Nintendo Entertainment System in Europe. Yes.
And I'm sure everyone's going to call it that full name. No one's going to call it the SNES Mini.
It includes 21 titles, including Star Fox 2, a game that had previously never been released legally. Okay, the full list of included games is Contra 3, The Alien Wars, Donkey Kong Country, Earthbound, Final Fantasy III, F-Zero, Kirby Superstar, Kirby's Dream Course, The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, Mega Man X, Secret of Mana, Star Fox 2, Street Fighter 2, Turbo, Hyper Fighting, Super Castlevania 4, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, Super Mario Kart, Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars, Super Mario World, Super Metroid, Super Punch-Out, What's with all the supers, and finally Yoshi's Island.
It's Nintendo.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a pretty good list of 21 games.
It's a very good list. I mean, like, there is some, like, classics here. I mean, it's a pretty full list. I'm so sorry, you guys. My computer. Okay, we're good. But, I mean, yeah, like, Final Fantasy 3... I mean, like Earthbound on there. I mean, Super Mario Kart, Super Mario RPG, which I would not have really expected. I mean, a lot of these I would expect, but I would F-Zero.
Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and say this. I find it funny they're putting Street Fighter 2 when they just released it for the Switch.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of
the newest version.
That was kind of an easy one. But I mean, obviously, like, all these things are amazing, but the biggest news is Star Fox 2. Like, there's a never before released game, and a game that, because of like legal issues and stuff, we were never gonna see. Like, that was basically what Nintendo and what everyone just assumed. Like this, and if you're not familiar, I'm not even completely familiar, but I know that like this game was pretty much completely made and then it was canceled. Like the game was finished, and they just canceled it, and we were basically never gonna get it from legal thing. I think that some people have been able to get their hands on it in some way, like
like ROMs and stuff
like that. But this is actually being released, which is crazy. Yeah, the sequel to Star Fox. Really cool of Nintendo to do that, to release it there. So, like, are we ready to talk about this, or are you moving on? Do you want to read more?
We can talk about the games real quick, then we can go on, read that stuff, then talk about that stuff.
All right. Well, I mean, if we're just talking about we're throwing away all the drama about Nintendo and Nintendo hardware and whether we can trust Nintendo, throwing all that out the window. This is an amazing list of games.
Yes.
That's even the NES Mini was already a great list, but I think this one kind of steps it up.
Yeah, I think what helps for here is other than Star Fox 2, which is a special case because one of them's never been released.
Yeah.
There's not on the NES Classic. There's not a repeat of series. Like you had multiple Super Mario games.
Yeah, they kind of like put what is usually considered the best of every one of these. Is there really anything that you think is missing that like you would have wanted?
I'm trying to. I get stuff mixed up. I know people like immediately said Chrono Trigger not being on here.
That is the most obvious one. Yeah. I think that is the most glaring.
And you can argue there's some other games from these series should be on there, but if they're limiting themselves to like pretty much one a series, I think this is a really good list. I haven't really looked at SNES games to see if there's anything missing, but comparing it just, I'll need to look at the list again. Comparing it to the NES, there's more games like that I haven't played before on this list that I'd be excited to play compared to the NES Classic. Like Earthbound, I never played that. It sounds like it'd be right up my alley. Secret of Mana, Super Mario RPG.
Yeah, there's a number of games that I've never played, but I've heard are amazing, and there's games that I haven't played in so long that
I love playing Donkey Kong Country.
Like I know I played Castlevania games. I don't know which ones I played. I don't even know if Super Castlevania 4 is the one. But either way, Castlevania games are
Yoshi's Island, Super Metroid.
Yeah, and I would definitely be down to play Super Metroid on this and stuff. And Final Fantasy 3 and F-Zero. It's just an awesome list. A Link to the Past, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can say no Chrono Trigger and probably some other SNES games we're forgetting at the top of our heads.
Yeah, but for the most part, I think it might just be. I think I just like the SNES lineup more than the NES lineup. I think that's just.
I think there's an argument that the NES had more classic games that most people recognize right away, but I guess to us, since we are more
younger,
or we're more into this stuff anyway, most of these games appeal to us more than because when we looked at the NES Classic, we were talking about like casual people getting them, like parents getting them
because they remember playing Mario when it came out and everything those. I guess those were maybe more revolutionary because no one had seen stuff like that before.
This is, I think, arguably, again, may have to see the NES Classic list again. This is more of a hardcore lineup, for lack of better terms.
Yeah, it's more for people that were
really into video games to really like this list.
And this was almost like the perfected version of Mario Kart, of Super Mario, all this stuff or whatever. It was,
Mm-hmm. And definitely makes me happy. Well, nothing I want to get anyway. We can get the Street Fighter 2 thing. But yeah, okay. So just based off you knowing the price and this list of games, would you get this if you could get it right now?
If the only thing is, I would rather have a Switch that has all this on Virtual Console. If we're being honest, that's what I would prefer. Yeah. But I guess if that wasn't gonna happen, then yeah. Are all these? If you just asked me this list of games, $80 price point, yes, okay. They're definitely worth it. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'll just say. If you compare what these would cost on the Switch for Virtual Console, this would definitely be higher.
Yeah. I'm just saying that I want these things to also. I'm ready for Virtual Console to get moved along. Mm-hmm. It just seems like a no-brainer to me. But yeah, this is for sure worth it.
Yeah, honestly, if I see a pre-order or I'm able to pick it up, I'll do it automatically, not even just really thinking about it.
And because if you don't do it automatically without thinking about it, you'll probably not get one. I guess we're going to read on.
Okay. I'm going to read the rest of what Joe and Jonathan wrote about this. The SNES Classic will come bundled with 2 wired SNES Classic controllers, an HDMI cable, and a USB power cable. this is different from the NES Classic. Is the NES Classic only came with one controller, then you got to buy the rest of it separate. This one comes with two, so that makes the price, I guess, look a little better comparing the two. And then in a statement provided to IGN, a Nintendo representative confirmed the Super NES Classic controller cord is approximately 5 feet long, which is about 2 feet longer than the cord on the NES Classic controller.
Yeah, which was one of the most ridiculous problems of the NES Classic. The controller cables were freaking ridiculous.
Yeah.
They were like so short that you had to be like right up against the TV. I mean, I guess it was like having a real NES. I hope, like, I'm horrible. My brain's terrible with hearing 5 foot and actually knowing what that looks like in real life. So I hope that that's actually better.
But
I
think he'll let my sister's height, I guess. She's about 5 foot, right?
Yeah, I mean, I still just wish they just had wireless controllers. I don't really understand. But,
yeah.
I mean, I guess it would make it cost more or something, but
no.
I don't know. Or make them compatible to my Switch controllers if you have, I don't have one, but like, for people who do, but I'm not designing this thing. That's kind of speaking for me.
Yeah. That kind of stuff I don't try to speak on too much because I don't know.
I don't want to.
Yeah. And then Nintendo is also committed to manufacturing a greater number of the newly announced SNES Classic Edition consoles than it did the NES Classic Edition, with current announced plans to ship the console only through the end of the year. So 2017 only is planned. Get your NES Classic Edition now. A statement provided to IGN by a Nintendo representative explains that Nintendo will produce significantly more units of Super NES Classic Edition than we did of the NES Classic Edition, though the company is declining to provide specific numbers at this time.
And the $1 million question is, do we even trust you? All right, so where this comes down to, amazing list. The whole idea of like the mini NES and the mini SNES, it's a cool idea, like especially for casual people who like haven't been into video games for a long time, and this is a cool like cheap way to like relive all these games, which is cool. But holy crap, was Nintendo's handling of the NES Classic a complete disaster. I mean, it was like, it was Nintendo's normal like availability problem times 10. Like, you couldn't get one of these if you wanted to. It became like basically a rare collector item because like there's so many people who wanted to give Nintendo their money with this thing, and now they just can't. Like, the only way you can get an NES Classic is like someone is like flipping it on eBay or something. So I struggle. Like, I'm kind of like, this is cool, but I'm skeptical to believe them or even want to care when I figure that they're just going to do the same thing with this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, do you think they've given us any reason to think that they won't?
Not particularly, no. I mean, we just got to see if they do it or not. I'm sorry if I'm looking at my computer smart to look. I'm ignoring you. I'm not. I was just like, may have to check Amazon and Best Buy real quick. They're up on there when earlier they were not, but you can't buy them.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's like, hold on there, Darby.
You're gonna buy one?
I would. I'd be like,
if
I saw that, I'd be like, hey, Darby, you want me to grab you one?
I guess like going further, like, do you think this is a problem that Nintendo does this? That Nintendo is making this such a like kind of rare thing that you have to pounce on, or you're not going to get it?
Yeah, I think overall it does make you not really trust Nintendo with. Their products and
it's just because of how often this happens. Because this is kind of happening with the Switch too.
Yeah, I'm gonna say with the Switch, it's different. Because from what I understand, they have trouble getting some like a rare part that the Switch uses.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that this has been the problem since the Wii.
Yeah.
Then Wii U didn't sell enough to really have the problem that much. But in the Switch is just like every time Nintendo has horrible like issues with keeping things in stock. But then the fact that they just completely give up on the NES and then announce this is just kind of rubs me the wrong way in some ways, which. Especially since, like, when they first announced the NES Classic, I figured that this thing was going to be so prevalent that, like, it was going to be, like, like when you're checking out at Target, it was gonna be there at the checkout thing to be like, oh, look at that, and you grab it or whatever. I thought it was just like every casual, like every person who like barely played video games and like would see it and be like, oh, hey, that's neat, and grab it on their way out. I never would have dreamed it'd be something that only the hardcore of the hardcore have it
and scalpers
because you have to be on top of that thing. Like, we have a friend who's been trying to buy it for months and months and months and months and months, and she can't get a hold of it. So, it's just weird. I don't think that this type of product should be something that rare. I feel like this should be something you're making it hard to not run into it, because it would be a great impulse buy, know?
Yeah. I wish they just set up a thing that you can pre-order and then they try to meet the demand of the pre-ordering. Mm-hmm. So that also gives scalpers less power.
Because scalpers have lots of power with this right now.
Yeah.
Nintendo's. And, like, maybe there's something that they understand that I don't, but to me that just seems like someone else is making the money that you should be making when you're letting scalpers.
Yeah, they made these readily available. Scalpers have no power whatsoever.
No, and people would be buying these
$10 or something.
I feel like people would be buying these things like crazy.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're like saying like that through the end of the year doesn't sound very good, because this is from like September to the end of the year.
It's the end. Yeah, this is releasing at the end of September, so
it's like October,
3
November.
months.
Yeah, it was like 3 months. And I don't know. I don't think it's enough.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if eventually they'll make more NES classics and they'll make more SNES classics and they'll stop here. Cause like I don't think they're gonna go another console mini. They might, but I don't think that they even could.
Yeah,
but it seems like NES
and make the most sense.
Yeah, because after this, it seems like it'd be a lot harder.
Yeah,
but
see, what would be awesome is if they kept the NES Classic, then released this, and then had a bundle for them both in it for a discounted price.
Yeah,
I consider that. I mean, it'd be like over $100 or something, but that's a lot of games.
It is. Well, please, Nintendo. We just want to play your games.
Yeah. I mean, I'm playing on the Switch, but this would be nice too.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah. Or we'll release Virtual Console with good price games to wear.
I mean, get on Virtual Console
anyway.
I mean, that's all people complain and saying like, why are you wasting time on this when you could be on Virtual Console? I mean, I don't really know if it's that easy. It might not be the same people doing it. That's way. I mean, that's way too simple to just say like, It doesn't work that way. But either way, you need to get Virtual Console rolling, because that would be another money maker. I just feel like Nintendo. I want Nintendo to succeed so much, but I feel like they leave so much money on the table, which is irritating.
Yep, and we will continue to update you on, I guess, the SNES Classic. I guess how available it is. Let you know if we can somehow snag a pre-order.
The Nerds at Large Gaming Podcast has ranted about NES Classic a lot, because I think we had a previous episode that was literally just titled "Why Nintendo Why," and it had a picture. It said "R.I.P. NES Classic."
It might have been like one of our test episodes.
I think it was later than that, but it was early. It was early.
Yeah.
So not many people probably heard that, but we rant a lot about it. All right, well, let's move on, Jeff, unless you have any more things to say.
No, again, just a really good list of games. Hopefully we can get some. We can get some for ourselves.
Great.
Everyone who wants to can get one. Okay. Yeah. So not much of anything we have is as big as that, but let's move on.
Let's.
Okay. The first thing we have. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. This comes from Joe Scrabbles from IGN. And this involves Skull and Bones has a campaign. So people know. While it was introduced very much as a competitive multiplayer game, Ubisoft has confirmed that its pirate ship battler, Skull and Bones, will come with a story component, but it's a little unclear what form it will take. Speaking to PC Gamer, a Ubisoft representative said the game will offer a narrative campaign which will be integrated into the game. It will not be something aside of the multiplayer experience. In this campaign, players will encounter iconic characters and memorable rival pirates. More details will be shared at a later date.
I mean, it's good. I'm glad the game has, because again, if you're not aware, like when this game was released at E3, a lot of people were like, myself included, were excited when the first trailer, thinking this was like a single player pirate game, and then were a little more disappointed when they found out it was just like multiplayer ship battling.
Well, even then, I mean, I think more people would be more excited for it, and this is based off what I remember of the footage. I might be completely wrong. In fact, like one player controls one ship or something, and not like multiple players are on one ship controlling different parts of the crew.
Yeah, and it's not even like I thought that we were leading towards like a section where you could like board the other ship and you were fighting and stuff, but that was basically just like a cutscene. Like when you board the other ship, you're just watching other people do it. It's mainly just the boats. So that was a little bit of a letdown. I'm still I feel like I'm a little more optimistic about this game than some people, but it was a little disappointing. Yeah. So I'm glad it has a campaign, but the fact that we're just kind of hearing about like this almost just seems like damage control of them being like, oh, don't worry, it has a campaign, and everything kind of after the fact, kind of like it gives me the impression that it's not going to be a very meaty campaign. I think it's going to be kind of a For Honor type campaign where it'll probably be fun enough and it'll teach you the mechanics, but like the story wise, I don't expect just top level. We don't know much about it, but it just seems like with these type of games and with Ubisoft, a lot of times when one of their games does something, you can kind of see the trend in other places, kind of more so than any other developer. Their games kind of like share each other's the things that they learn and the things they do. They kind of share. So, and this kind of just screams to me, it's like For Honor, but for pirate ship battles.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to disagree a little slightly with what you were saying, but like, it may be like that. Well, I think I'm okay with them. I think it was fine for them not to announce the campaign, and I guess it was kind of damage control-y, but I think it's coming, if I'm right, this supposed to come out like fall next year. They have plenty of time to save the single player for later, if the multiplayer is the bulk of it, but I'm not going to take credit for this. I think it was in this article that, Joe Scrabble said it, that especially the way the Ubisoft rep talked about it, it kind of reminded people of like maybe how Destiny does it, where the story is integrated into the multiplayer facet with missions and stuff.
Okay, yeah.
So that could be it. So it's different from like For Honor and stuff. It's not the single player part of the story. Wait, yeah. They don't say single player like in the For Honor thing. They just say story component.
Yeah.
So the multiplayer could have the story.
Yeah. Okay.
Which would be different and cool.
Yeah. I just hope that there's actually like at least some fleshed out things, because like the thing with For Honor is like it was like generic knights, generic Vikings, and generic samurai. Like they kind of tried to make them characters, but not really, and that's what I just worry that this is going to be, that kind of thing. Could still be a very fun game. Yeah. I mean, I think I would still be kind of into it. I just I'm hoping for something a little more substantial.
Yeah. We got like at least a year and a half to see how this turns out.
And either way, I still know what I want someone to make a pirate RPG, like an open world RPG where you're a pirate. I still want that.
Well, I guess this isn't completely it. Sea of Thieves, I guess, lacks RPG mechanics, but also is on Xbox.
Sea of Thieves is closer to what I want.
Yeah.
But not quite. Like, again, I think I said it in this podcast, I said it a bunch of other things. I want, like, Witcher 3, but pirates. I want that kind of game, But, yeah.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. They don't have to show, like, the fact that they didn't show single player. I don't think that's like a horrible red flag or anything. Like I think that's fine. I just think that the focus is probably going to be.
They showed a good bit. Since they're premiering the game and it's supposed to come out like more than a year. It's going to be at E3 next year.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah. Okay. Ready to move on to the next story, Darby?
I am, Jeff.
Okay. There's nothing to really read, but this is something I guess we forgot to talk about on our last podcast. We were talking about news that was announced in a conference. Hellblade, the new game by Heavenly Sword Dev and the Devil May Cry reboot, Ninja Theory, it's a new game.
And Enslaved.
Yeah, Enslaved. They announced it's coming out August 8th of this year, and it's going to be $30. And in the last month, they released 2 different trailers.
Nice price point. Sexy price point.
Yeah. In the trailer where they announced the release date and the price, they talk about how they want to bring like the mid-level like AAA game back. So this game's gonna be a smaller experience. In a tweet, Ninja Theory said it's probably gonna be about 6 to 8 hours. The story.
Yeah.
So shorter game, smaller price point, and I'm all for these kind of games.
I am too. We don't have enough of them. I feel like a lot of times I feel like we have the big giant AAA, and then we have the small indie, and then everything in the middle is kind of like non-existent. Or when it does, it kind of dies. A lot of times it doesn't do very well, which is why I'm glad stuff like Nier Automata is doing good. Well,
even that wouldn't call necessarily a mid-tier game kind of like this, because this is looking like it looks like a AAA game, like graphics-wise and everything.
But yeah,
it is a smaller game.
Yeah, at least that had like Square Enix behind it and stuff. Like yeah. But this does look cool. I really liked the like visual style of Heavenly Sword on PS3, and this definitely seems like it's borrowing from that style.
I'm trying to remember. The little sister's name was Kai, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think people for a long time thought Senua. We forgot to check.
Yeah, we did.
They kept on thinking like maybe she was Kai.
I thought like wasn't there
and it's called Hellblade. Hellblade Heavenly Sword.
Yeah. And wasn't there like at some point going to be a game in development where you played as her sister?
I think that was a rumor. I don't know if it really meant anything.
And yet for a long time I've seen Hellblade advertised for a long time, and I think I thought that too. And I even, like, when we were watching the trailer, I asked Jeff, like, is this supposed to be connected to Heavenly Sword? Or does it just look like it? And from as far as we know, it just looks similar. But it looks really cool because they're, like, adding in, like, it's like action puzzle game, but it also has some horror elements in it. Mm-hmm. And it's just, like, I want more games like this that have, like, kind of like it looks like the budget or the just like style of a AAA game, but because they're not beholden to like big companies and they don't have to try to appeal to the widest audience, they're able to kind of push the bill and do like kind of to tell the story they want to tell without pulling any punches, which I think is really cool. It's part of what I'm excited about with IO having Hitman. It's the same kind of deal here, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, just that kind of thing excites me when they get away from these giant companies. And stuff.
An interesting thing we found out when looking more on this game to make sure we knew what we were talking about. This game was not like focus test, so they just pretty much did what they wanted. This is their vision.
Yeah.
Overall, the developers' division. It's like a small 20-man team.
Yeah, and I like how like honest they're being about like it's gonna be like 6 to 8 hours. We're trying like this is kind of like a smaller game. It's
we want this to be successful so more devs can see. Okay, this is developers continue to do this. This can be successful.
And they say like we're going digital only so that we can charge you less money and stuff like that.
And the more money goes back to them so they can make more of these kind of games.
I appreciate when they're very upfront and
I guess just in case I didn't say it, like most of the stuff we're saying, they said at the end of their release date / price trailer. Like they, after like 30 seconds of footage, he said, "Hey, we want to do mid-tier games. This is our vision for this. Yada yada yada."
Yeah.
So I appreciate that, I like the general atmosphere and all stuff for this. I am definitely going to look into this game.
Yeah, it's kind of a wait and see type thing. We don't know a whole lot yet, but I'm definitely down with the whole style.
Yeah, and it's also one of the games because it's so cheap and it looks unique. Even if the score is a little more middling, I could definitely see me getting in this because we've had plenty of games kind of like that me and you were on the good side of. We liked it a lot more than the scores may have suggested.
And it's a very good price point.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And me and you are one of those people that really like Heavenly Sword, so.
I know, yeah. I think Heavenly Sword gets the bad rap sometimes.
Yeah. Okay, so we will let you know more about Hellblade as stuff comes up. And hopefully it's good and we give you impressions in a couple months.
Yes. Right, you move on. I'm gonna look at the time, but move on.
Okay. We're bringing back in Just Cast for a little bit.
Yeah, we are.
Everyone's favorite segment. Okay, not much. There was a. We weren't going to talk about this, but more news came up. There was a Sub-Zero trailer. He looks like a mixture of the different. What's the term they used in Mortal Kombat X? I think
they're just variations.
Oh yeah, variations for Sub-Zero. I feel like, if I remember right, like that's mainly his moveset. He uses swords, ice swords. He uses ice clones. There's a bunch of little things.
Yeah, wasn't the swords were just one variation, right? Yeah.
I think another one focused a little more on ice clones.
And this kind of has both. He looks like, I don't know if I just haven't seen X in long enough, but he looks faster to me sometimes, or at least some of his moves. Like he was using a lot of like kicks and stuff. And, he had something where like he put two different clones, like one at the bottom, one at the ground, and one in like way above him. So if you tried to get to him, you had to like jump in between the clones. It looks annoying.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like looking at it, he did a little flash. That's a meter burn move.
Okay.
Doing the two like that.
Like it looks like, I'm glad that it kind of seems like they're changing like enough of him, but also keeping enough stuff, and sometimes just combining stuff like that to make him seem better to me, but still Sub-Zero. Yeah. Which, I mean, like, I think a lot of Sub-Zero people have been complaining that the last, like, 2 games he's not been that great. Like, he's been a lot worse than
he's going to be top tier.
Yeah. And Jeff's real excited, I'm sure.
Oh, yes. I love this so much more than a DC character.
But you do agree he at least, like, moveset-wise looks cool.
Yeah.
It's just like, it could have been a DC character, and that's what's
the main news of why we're talking about this now is they announced they're releasing in July 11th. So,
very
about
soon.
2 weeks from when we're recording this.
They're blowing through these DLC characters like that.
Well, I get Starfire pretty soon.
It's almost like they had them already made.
What? Okay, now we're going to stay on fighting game character announcements real quick, Darby.
Let's do it, Jeff.
Okay. We have the first new character announcement for Dragon Ball FighterZ. And to surprise of absolutely no one, they announced Future Trunks. So, yay.
Did they announce past Trunks?
There's no past Trunks. There's present Trunks.
Trunks never existed in the past? He only exists... I don't know. Just continue on. I don't know any of this stuff. I don't know how weeaboo like
this Trunks from the future, Darby.
Okay.
There's no Trunks from the past.
Okay.
Except for past episodes.
Well, then that would be past Trunks.
Not really. Okay. Moving on. So, yeah, not really much. I can't even remember what magazine it was, but some Japanese magazine. Probably Famitsu or something. Just revealed him. Only some screenshots. Looks cool. Obviously, he's going to use his sword. Yeah. Obvious inclusion.
Is he going to use his Trunks?
Sure.
I don't know Dragon Ball, but I know he's the purple. He's the purple haired dude, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The discussions aren't going to be as interesting as the Injustice ones.
Yeah, we need to get some it's at least when the game comes out or close to it, we need to get a Dragon Ball nerd on here to talk to. It shouldn't be that hard to find. There's
hey Alex, if you're listening,
Alex, really
hit us up.
I don't think he's listening, but Alex, come talk to him.
If you're not listening, why not?
Both of you nerd out to me about this game when I'm barely paying attention anyway. So.
We'll have more interesting discussions when these characters reveal with trailers.
I am actually excited to play this game with you guys because this is the first Dragon Ball fighting game that kind of interests me, just mechanic-wise.
Yeah.
So
same way with a lot of people.
Yeah.
At least since, people were kids and realized those games were bad.
Yeah. I was
just mediocre.
I was never good at them as a kid. So, that to me, that equaled their bad.
Yeah. Okay, Dark, you ready to move on?
I am, Jeffrey.
Okay. This comes from Joe Scrabbles, once again, from IGN.
I can actually talk about this one.
Yep. 5 more so than me. Okay. Despite releasing Nathan Drake's last game, Naughty Dog seems keen to keep the world of Uncharted alive. Speaking to Tom Phillips of Eurogamer, Uncharted The Lost Legacy creative director and writer Sean Escaig.
Where are we? Oh, wow.
Yeah. Said that to say the Uncharted world is done, I doubt that highly.
Escaig. Hague. Yeah? I mean, that's all I got, too.
Okay. The upcoming Lost Legacy is a standalone game featuring returning side characters from the series, and pointedly, definitely not featuring Nathan Drake in any capacity. SK seems to see that approach as a useful one for the future of the series. He went on to say, I want to say it's the end. This thieving world is huge. There's so many characters. Even before we set on Lost Legacy story, we were exploring Sullivan. We were exploring Cutter. And pairing each other up, thinking that would be right. What would have conflict growth, something new and something fresh. And Chloe was the one that kept jumping out. So yeah,
basically, I mean, it's really, when you think about it, probably it shouldn't be that surprising news. One of Sony's best-selling IPs ever is going to continue. I mean, like, it's not that surprising just from the money-making standpoint. Yeah. I am kind of happy, though, to see that it kind of seems like they want to go in the new directions with it. Maybe, like, same world and same kind of tone, but let's focus on maybe some new characters and new type of stories or whatever. Because, like, you know what I mean? Like, I love Uncharted, but I think it would need some refreshing if I want it to come back. Because, no spoilers, but, like, Uncharted 4 was, like, the perfect end to, like, those games.
To Nathan Drake's story.
To Nathan's story and to just those characters. And just that kind of, like, arc that they were telling.
Yeah.
So, going forward, I would like to see whether it's these other characters talking about, these side characters, or it's completely new characters, or a mixture of both.
Yeah.
You know, I think if... And one thing I really hope is, like, I assumed that at some point they were going to continue on with Uncharted. I just like that's going to happen. Even if it's not Naughty Dog, it's going to happen. I hope they take time off. Like, I hope there's a good amount of time between Lost Legacy and the next Uncharted game. Mm-hmm. Like, I want Naughty Dog to focus on The Last of Us and then a new IP or something. And maybe just give Uncharted some room to breathe so that by the time you come back with maybe a different developer or just a different type of story, people will want it and people will be itching for it.
Yeah, I think it would be a good thing for them. It's kind of going off what you said. If The Lost Legacy is successful the way it's doing it, a shorter game, a cheaper game, they can do more stuff like this. Go into the other side characters, yeah. Like they said, Sullivan. Go to... I haven't played Uncharted 4, so I don't know much about him, but Drake's brother.
Right.
Assuming he's didn't do the generic thing of betraying Drake. Don't say either way. Just
I'm not saying any spoilers.
Well, that was the thing.
I want you to play those games.
That's something people jump to quickly, and I don't blame them. That's the generic thing that would happen. Yeah. The obvious thing. But yeah, do something make a game with him. But in kind of what you said, go to a different developer. Let Naughty Dog do their own thing. Let someone else make these cheaper games in the Uncharted universe.
Yeah. Like, I never want Naughty Dog to feel tied down to anything, really. They're too good for that. They're too good. Like, I want to see what else they can do.
Yeah.
Like, the last time they made a new IP, it was probably my second favorite game of all time. Like, The Last of Us is a freaking masterpiece. So I want to see what else they can do.
And I know there's some people it's blasphemous to say someone other than Naughty Dog should work on Uncharted, but it could work out. Especially if it's something like The Lost Legacy.
It just needs to be put in the right hands, and it just needs to be done right. And I think, once again, the most key component is time. Like, I don't want to see the next Uncharted trailer at next year's E3 or something like that. I want, like, time. I want them to, like, let it sit. I want this to be a PS5 game if it's going to come out,
But what if it's called Uncharted, The Sullivan Chronicles, and it's a 2D platformer?
Well, then I'm in. Then day one.
Good. At least we can agree.
Can we just get a Sully dating sim where he's just talking to random girls?
Okay, Darby. You want a game that you actually have to try. I mean, you default get all of the girls.
You're right. That's silly of me.
Okay. Anything else you want to say, Darby?
No, not really. Nothing.
Okay.
That's good. I mean, I'm stoked for The Lost Legacy.
Yeah.
It was kind of unrelated, but stoked.
Okay, out of curiosity, say this real quick. Are you going to get it at launch, or how soon after you think?
I've pre-ordered it.
Oh, you didn't? Okay, I did not know this.
That
answers that.
Me and my sister play those games together.
Oh,
and
yeah,
she's really excited for it.
And she's actually here.
Yeah,
for
my sister's been living in North Carolina for a long time, and now she's living in South Carolina with us because she's having twins.
Twin girls.
That's one thing that'll pull you home. So, we were excited for it, and I just wanted to go ahead and have it. And I got a nice theme for my PS4. I mean, that wasn't the only reason. I kind of just got it to get it, but yeah. So yeah, day one.
Good to hear. You'll have some good impressions, I'm sure.
Yes.
Okay. Going on to the next story. This comes from Seth G. Macy from IGN. As convenient as modern smartphones have become, they've been lacking one feature: the ability to play Sega games for free. Thankfully, Sega has righted this wrong with the introduction of Sega Forever.
That's really how they wrote that? That's hilarious.
Yes.
Right.
I'd like to take credit, but no. Okay. Sega Forever is a collection of free-to-play, ad-supported Sega games featuring offline play, cloud saves, controller support, and leaderboards, according to Sega's mobile division, Sega Networks Incorporated. Once downloaded, the games can be unlocked and ads removed for $2. The first round of games includes the original Sonic the Hedgehog, Phantasy Star 2, Comic Zone, Kid Chameleon, and the Genesis port of Altered Beast. The games also include iMessage sticker packs. Sega's Mike Evans said the collection is first and foremost a celebration of nostalgia. The collection is scheduled to add even more games in the future. And this is not in the article, but this is what I saw when I was looking at stuff for this. Outlets such as Polygon Eurogamer and many more have talked about the poor emulation of Sega Forever. It's already out.
Yeah,
really bad, from what I've seen. Heard. I think that Sega responded, but I couldn't find anything concrete.
Why does it seem so in character for Sega to be the one to just go full mobile and put everything on the for free on the mobile phone and it be bad?
I don't know, man.
I don't know. It just kind of screams desperation, or just let's use our nostalgia card for this. I mean, whatever. You get free games on your phone. I loved Sonic as a kid or whatever. So I guess it's fine.
Who needs that when we have Sonic Mania?
Yeah, just me personally. And again, most people love to play things on their phone. Me, that's probably the last thing I'd want to do. That's the last place I'd want to play Sonic or any of these games. And also, it's just some of these games are good, but it's just the Sega lineup is usually more underwhelming. I mean, I know everyone loves Phantasy Star and stuff, but
I played a Phantasy Star game before. It was good.
Yeah, I don't want to crap on it too much. I sometimes feel bad for Sega, but
no, we crap on it for its bad emulation.
Yeah, apparently it's just done poorly. I'm not gonna know because again, I just have no interest really. I don't know how you feel about it.
It's whatever. I'm not the audience for this.
That's the thing. We're just not.
I'm the audience that gets Sonic Mania.
Exactly. You're probably not the same audience that's going to be I remember playing Sonic. It's free on my phone. Okay.
Yeah. If I play $2, I don't have to worry about ads. Yippee.
Yeah. Whatever. If we can get Sega some cheap money.
Yep. To make more of their Kira Chronicles. Okay, now, Darby, we're going to the last story. And it might kind of be a non-story, but I figure it's worth talking about.
Why not, Jeff?
Why not? Okay, so, while talking to GamesBeat, Charlie Scavetta from Nintendo of America said some very interesting things. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'll just pretty much get to the point. He pretty much said that in 2018, we're going to have Metroid Prime 4 and the new Pokemon game that was just announced. The context was he was talking about 2018, past 2017, and he mentioned these games for 2018.
So I guess the question is, do you believe him? Yes and no?
Kind of. I can see one of them potentially making it because, again... I mentioned this before. Ordinarily, Nintendo doesn't like to announce / show things really far in advance like a lot of other publishers do.
But, keep in mind,
I know what
this was a title screen and a guy with a pencil.
Yes, but, okay. Metroid, yeah. But potentially beginning is still Nintendo. I could see them definitely not showing stuff to E3 and it coming out like winter next year.
Yeah.
That sounds very Nintendo to me. Now, to Pokemon companies normally, and the one who handles all that stuff, they're definitely not the ones who would show anything substantial over a year in advance. Like, they just don't do that.
Yeah, they usually don't even announce it like this.
Till the year
like,
of.
They would. I
mean, this is probably something like Nintendo saying like, "Hey, you kind of screwed us on that direct you did, so make this right by at least announcing this, just saying it exists."
And it's just kind of hard. It's hard to like not. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to like show restraint when you're like, imagine how much people would freak out if we and say this. At E3, you get the hype levels up. Yeah.
And it's some people comfort. I mean, a lot of people knew at least the Pokemon game was coming and assumed a Metroid game was coming at some point. But this gives people comfort knowing that it is getting worked on, and maybe sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I would honestly not expect both of them to be in 2018. Like, even if they're planning, like, I believe that might be the plan right now, but like I have a feeling they probably won't both hit it. Yeah. In a weird way, I almost feel like Pokemon might have a better chance, even though that's the one we didn't even see a title screen for.
Because it's Pokemon, and like we just got the announcement for the one that's coming out this fall. Right. Like, there's no way, especially when that's coming out, that they're gonna completely reveal a new one that may be coming out like next year or the year after.
It also depends on like how substantial, like what exactly this Pokemon game is. Like, is it a like completely like redefined Pokemon and redesigned thing specifically for the Switch, and it's like amazing graphics and all this stuff, or is it kind of like your traditional Pokemon? It's just on the Switch. It kind of depends on if it's just your traditional thing, then it'd probably be a lot easier to make. Yeah. But if this is some sort of like, not RPG, but if it's some sort of like thing that they're having to like make full 3D models, like freaking Mario Kart graphics, if it's like the crazy type of thing like this, it might still be a ways off, or it might be subject to delays. Mm-hmm. So it kind of depends on what that is. Mm-hmm. And Metroid Prime, it kind of just depends on how long it's been in development.
Yeah, we don't know. I mean, again, it's Nintendo. Them necessarily just showing the title screen doesn't mean that much compared to like if Sony just showed like the title or something.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, saying this doesn't necessarily mean, I guess, one thing or the other. I guess it's interesting the fact that Nintendo rep said this, but important to note, this is a Nintendo of America guy and not Nintendo of Japan, who's normally more in the know / in charge of this stuff.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it would be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, again, there will be games that haven't been announced yet that come out next year for sure.
Yes.
For Nintendo games. So if just those two games and the other ones we know about come out next year, that's already pretty good.
Yeah, to add on to how good this year is.
I mean, I'm going to assume Animal Crossing is coming out next year.
Oh, yeah.
It has to.
I hope. I really hope.
Unless they're really not working on one, which is stupid.
I think they're probably working on one. They probably just didn't want to announce 3 different games that they had nothing to show for at E3. Yeah. Like, it might have become a bit much if they did the title screen for Metroid Prime, do with the pencil, says something about Pokemon, and then they show like the villager's face and say Animal Crossing for Switch, but they don't actually show anything for any of them. That would be a little frustrating.
Yeah. Animal Crossing, I think, is the perfect game to show off early next year or the latest E3, and it come out like in the fall at the latest or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, I agree. Well, I believe that's it for the news, isn't it?
It is.
All right, well...
that's it for us.
That is it for us. But you are about to hear us go through our E3 2017 prediction winner. We're going to decide who won. And
there might be some surprises in store.
So stay tuned for that. Again, it's weird for us. We've already recorded it, but you're about to see it now. But through editing magic, you get to... Yeah. So... enjoy that.
Yep, enjoy.
Yep. Okay, Jeff. Now it's time to talk about our E3 predictions.
Yep.
Now, we would have already done this before. We tried to wait for Will, but alas, Will failed us.
I don't know where he is.
Probably dead. R.I.P.
Yep. He did leave us a message, but we will read that at the end.
Yes, because
It
we
contains spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers. We're not going to. We know who won. We know who won our E3 prediction things, and I guess if you're dedicated enough, you might have gone back and done calculations yourself, and you might know who won. But you don't know our madness, and you don't know our weird half points that we gave.
You mean my half points? Pretty much.
Yeah, Jeff really did most of the heavy lifting with adding this up.
Okay, so people know, we've said in previous podcasts, we knew pretty quickly I was out of it. So they were okay with me pretty much just doing all the points. I mean, they looked over it, I assume, and they seemed to be okay with
I trusted Jeff to be an impartial judge.
Yeah, which I had no chance.
Which I guess you know already. Jeff didn't win, but...
Yeah, I mean, we've said it before.
Yeah, we have, but, there might have been new people. Oh, well. Yeah. It would have become obvious. But we're just going to kind of go through all of our... We're going to kind of just go through all of our different predictions. We'll talk about the interesting ones or whatever. Yeah. And we'll just go through what we made for each conference and kind of our overall score. And then we will reveal the winner. The winner will get a cookout milkshake if they win. Now... Obviously, if it's one of us, we will get it here. If it's Will, they will be given later. You will see.
Either way, I'm losing some money.
Yeah, he's losing like a whole 50 cents, maybe.
Like $1.50.
Sorry, high stakes here. Well, Jeff, why don't you start us off?
Okay. Well, what I'm gonna do so people can kind of follow, I'm gonna go person by person, and then read off each different section individually, like so Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, and third party for each person. Say how many points each person got for the main section, and then end it with how many points that person got overall. We're gonna start with me, just so you can see how bad I did, and and starting off me because we know I already lost, so there's no tension there. Okay, so first my Sony bets, and. Just to remind people, the way we did this is we had 5 bets for each section, and 1 through 5. Your number 1 bet got 5 points. Your number 2 bet 4, 3 points, so on and so forth. Okay. So, yeah. My number 1 Sony bet: Days Gone gets a November 2017 release date. Wrong.
It got no release date.
Yep. So, yeah.
I couldn't believe that. I mean,
Yeah, no point in talking about that anymore. We've done that enough already.
We have.
My number 2 Sony bet: Bloodborne 2 will be announced with a 2018 release date. Wrong. It was not announced.
Not there at all.
Yep. Maybe a PSX.
At least Days Gone was at the thing.
Yeah. My number 3 Sony bet: Last of Us 2 will not be shown at E3. I was correct.
He actually
Thank
got
goodness.
I'm glad you were right about that one.
They did not need to show any more of that for a while.
So you got how many points for that one? You got 3.
I got 3 points.
Yeah.
Okay. My number 4 Sony bet: During the Detroit trailer / footage, we will see at least 2 different playable characters other than Connor, who was the character shown in last year's E3. I was wrong about this. There's only 1 new playable character, which was Marcus. So I got no points for that.
Yeah, there were multiple characters, but he was really the only one that played.
There are technically 2 new for me, because I forgot about that. I didn't know about that girl, I guess they showed with the premiere footage of Detroit. I forgot about her, I guess. Or didn't know she was playable. One of those. Point is, no points. My number 5 bet: In the God of War trailer, Kratos will get no more than 6 kills. I was so wrong.
It was pretty clear.
Pretty quickly.
Yeah, as soon as the combat came in, it was like, oh, nope, Jeff, that's
then
not
I was
happening.
Like, should he count as kill those? Then it kept on going. It's like, okay, there are enough guaranteed kills.
I think there was at least 6 decapitations, much less 6 kills.
But my thing was, did we see them die? But then quickly, obviously, we saw enough to die.
Yeah.
So
I thought that was a pretty cool bet though, just because I was thinking that the combat was going to be slower than it is. which I'm kind of glad it's heavier. But I thought that was a safe. A lot of these were good. Like a lot of your bets were not that off. But
so, just in case you didn't follow, my total points for Sony, 3 points.
Yeah.
Okay. Now to my Microsoft bets. My number 1, Scorpio will launch November 17th, 2017. I was kind of half right with this, or Darby's gracious enough to let me get half credit for this.
I was.
It's coming out like November 7th. So yeah,
So
10 days before.
10 days off, yeah.
Yeah. I got the month right.
I thought you were bold to go for the actual specific date, so I would let you get it. You were only 10 points out. So you got half points for that, right?
Yeah. So I got 2.5 points for that since it was the 5-pointer.
Yeah.
My number 2 Microsoft bet, there will be little to no mention of specs for Scorpio, other than a slide stating it is the most powerful console and, other random facts. I was wrong. They talked about that way longer than they should have.
Yep. They kind of dwelled on that for a good 20-minute section. So
no one cares. The people who do care already know all they need to know.
Well, and the Digital Foundry, we already knew all this from that.
Yeah, exactly.
It was kind of unneeded. But
my number 3 Microsoft bet. Sea of Thieves will get an October release date, and we'll see trailer / gameplay, or we will get the release date in that. There's obviously trailing gameplay, but no October release date. It's releasing early 2018.
Right. Which,
I'm a little surprised, but
I think all of us had pretty early release date guesses for this, and it was in 2018. Kind of surprised me.
Mm-hmm. The number 4 Microsoft bet, 2 new IPs that will be Microsoft exclusive will be announced. There are a bunch of random little games. They got 40-something games. I don't need to name them. They were in there.
Yeah.
They're more indie, smaller indie stuff. Still counts.
There
wasn't what I was thinking of when I made this bet, but still counts.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit of a anticlimactic or cheap way to get it, but I'm not arguing it. No,
yeah.
you got it. I didn't even. It's not even really worth looking through. It was they showed so many games.
Yeah.
It was
I mean, I did look and see. Okay, there were at least 2 in there.
Yeah.
And my number 5 Microsoft bet. They will talk about Xbox Game Pass and talk about some new games coming to its service. Did not mention Game Pass at all.
Not one time.
So no points for that. So my Microsoft total 4.5. So I got 7.5 right now.
For 2 conferences. Going strong.
Now, Nintendo. Yeah.
Will Jeff bounce back?
The answer is no.
Mr. Nintendo.
My number 1 Nintendo bet. Super Mario Odyssey will release on November 17th, 2017. Wrong. It was they announced October 27th. That's the release date. I'm okay with being wrong for that because we get it 3 weeks earlier.
I'm okay with you being wrong too.
Yeah. My number 2 Nintendo bet. Retro's new game will be announced and it will be a new IP. No retro game.
Nope.
Was announced. So.
2 Metroid games,
yes.
but no retro game.
Yes. Metroid Prime 4 is not retro.
Nope.
My number 3 Nintendo bet. So I got this one right. Xenoblade 2 will stick to its 2017 release date. At least they'll say it's still sticking to that. And I had to believe at the end. I believed and received.
I thought that was one of the ones that I thought I felt worse about.
I believed.
You believed, Jeff.
We're post beginning of this year. So yeah. And my number 4 Nintendo bet. Fire Emblem Warriors will announce at least 3 new characters, not counting the characters lead by Famitsu. At the time we did this. Yes, they did. They announced Korin, Ryoma, and Xander from Fire Emblem Fates as new characters. So I got that right. I figured they announced some because there weren't that many.
Yep, still all swords.
Yes. And my number 5 and final Nintendo bet. Splatoon 2 will have at least 1 new game mode announced for it. There was nothing new for... Yeah, there was nothing really new for Splatoon 2 at E3. I think they showed some single player stuff, but that's about it.
Yeah, it was kind of just a little...
Yeah.
So, not very much.
Any new game will probably shown to Direct before it comes out in about 3 weeks. And for my bonus Nintendo bet that we were just tracking because it was an extra one, but we wanted to see. Mario footage will have no more than 12 double jumps. That was correct. There wasn't much double jumping in there, or any at all.
Nope, just lots of possession.
Yeah.
So that should have been one of your bets, but...
Should have made number 1?
No.
I at least would have, been close. So yeah, I got 5 points for Nintendo.
Yeah, that's your most so far, right? Yeah.
Yep. Now my third-party bets. Ubisoft will officially announce Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle at their conference. That was correct. Ubisoft announced it before Nintendo's Direct. Happy to see that. It was a good place to show off, because they have show gameplay.
It was.
My number 2 third-party bet. Oh, sorry. Did you have?
No, go ahead.
Bethesda will announce Evil Within 2 to be released next year. It was a trailer. Let's see. I got that wrong. I guess maybe that would have been a half-credit one, but it's irrelevant. We marked it as wrong. They announced Evil Within 2, but it's coming out October 13th.
With some of the other things, well, I mean, like, we all kind of, like, knew Evil Within 2 was coming, but, like, sure, I'll give you half points. It doesn't matter, right? No.
I just think I was like, oh, wait, the way we've been kind of doing things.
Just add that to your total. If you can keep the math in your head, just do that.
I got it. Okay, my number 3, third-party bet. Ubisoft will premiere footage for the new Assassin's Creed with a November release. So, yeah, it was, I got that completely wrong. Gameplay was revealed, or Assassin's Creed was premiered at Microsoft's conference, and it has an October 27th release date.
Yeah. And this is one of those, like, even if, like, you had just said, like, Assassin's Creed will be revealed in November release date, I wouldn't have given you half points for saying it's going to be revealed, because everyone in the world knew Assassin's Creed was coming, Yeah. But
let's see. My number 4 one. We will have at least 2 new Marvel characters, at least 2 new Capcom characters announced for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. There were more than that.
Yeah.
When the Sony trailer was playing during the conference, I was counting them like, okay, that's a new Marvel character, that's a new Marvel character, that's a new Capcom character. Come on, new Capcom character. Okay, and then they did a whole bunch of them at once.
Yeah.
Okay. But like halfway through, like, I got this. But it was also one of my only bets I got right. Okay. And my final bet for E3. Square Enix will announce a new Tomb Raider game at the Sony conference. That was wrong. Sony didn't really announce games.
Yeah. I'm kind of sad that you're
Shadow
wrong.
of the Colossus, but yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got that wrong. There was also no new Tomb Raider game in general. We know it exists.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen a new Tomb Raider.
Okay. With Darby's gracious gift of half credit, I had 9 total points for third parties. Which brings my total to 21.5. So Darby will have more than that. Just keep
Spoilers. All right. Yep. Okay. So that was Jeff's first annual Nerds at Large E3 prediction.
Yep. Okay. Next we will go to Will.
Okay.
We will do Will's. And he is not here.
He is next right here.
For us to judge how bad his predictions were.
So we'll just make fun of him. We'll just
okay.
We'll say bad things about all of his predictions.
Okay, we're going same order. As far as like which categories we're going in. Will's Sony number 1 bet. Sucker Punch's new IP will be revealed. It will have no connections to Infamous, but will be a third-person action game. Some gameplay. Completely wrong. No new Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch is not there at all.
Nothing at all. Yep.
Number 2 bet. God of War is featured prominently at the conference. A new trailer and gameplay is shown along with a 2018 release date. Yeah, that was just right.
All that's right.
Yeah. I guess you can argue feature prominently, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say, I mean, that's like one of the biggest games you walked away from there with, or at least me. I'd give it to him.
Yeah. We gave him full credit for that, so yeah, all 4 points. His number 3 Sony bet. Death Stranding will make another appearance. Kojima will appear on stage. Minimal test footage gameplay. None at all.
So glad he's wrong about that.
I think he said he was going to be happy if he was wrong, I think.
Yeah, we do not need to see more Death Stranding. It's not even a game yet.
Yeah.
And we've seen 2 trailers. It's like,
I think Sean Layden said he played it. Or one of those Sony guys did.
It's barely
whatever
it is, yeah. Whatever it is, it's barely a thing.
His number 4 Sony bet. 3 more PSVR exclusive titles are revealed to some extent. Yeah. That happened.
Yep, they had a almost 10-minute section, but not quite.
Spoilers. So yeah, there's like 2 by Supermassive Games. And yeah, a couple other ones. So.
Yeah.
You got that.
Yep. And Moss That little mouse or rabbit, rat.
It's a mouse.
Mouse.
Little mouse.
Mouse, rabbit, rat.
And his number 5 Sony bet. From Software announces a new IP with Sony. That was to counter my Bloodborne bet. So we were thinking From Software would be there in general, so at least one of us would get points. They weren't there.
Nope. Yep. Neither of those. I'm very surprised about that.
Okay, so Will's total for Sony 6 points. Now, on to the next one from Microsoft. Will's number 1 Microsoft bet. Project Scorpio costs $499 and will be out this fall. Correct.
Yep. That's pretty...
Price was right, and release date,
safe one, but solid.
Surprised neither of us predicted another price, to be honest.
Yeah, I am too.
I think part of me was like, I know that's going to be the price, so I'm not going to use my bet on this.
That's what, and that's the other problem. That's what I would have thought the price would be. People were hoping it was going to be cheaper, including me, but I kind of didn't expect anything else, so. With how, powerful the thing is and how much it probably took to make, I couldn't see it being,
Mm-hmm.
But, congrats, Will.
Yep. Now, this number 2 Microsoft bet. Crackdown 3 will be shown. It will be running a Scorpio and will be a launch title for the system. Gameplay demo on stage. So, what did I do for this one? I don't know. I gave him half credit, but I can't remember what exactly I did with it, to be honest. What did I do for that?
It is a launch title.
Yeah.
For the Scorpio. There wasn't a gameplay.
Oh, yeah. I think that's what I gave him, 3 points for it.
Yeah, because, yeah.
Okay, let's see. His number 3 bet. Whereas new IP Sea of Thieves is given a trailer and gameplay footage along with release date for the spring.
So wait, what was wrong here? Or
I don't know. I may have not done that one.
Did they say spring or did they?
I think they just did 2018.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
Brent will be given a trailer and I guess it wasn't given a trailer, it was just gameplay footage. So he got one. Alright, so no trailer, that's one thing wrong. He got the gameplay, which is right. And then release date for the spring, I guess, is wrong.
Yeah.
Are we giving you a third of a point?
I guess we can. Oh, wait. Okay. I got it now. I meant to do that partly. I just colored it wrong. Or didn't recolor it.
Okay.
Because I was with the live corrections, folks.
We're just flying by the seat of our pants. We're not a very tight show here.
When we're looking at the crackdown thing, I was like, wait, those points don't add up. But with that getting a third credit, I'm thinking
so the points do reflect that. Okay.
We good, folks? I just did coloring on our spreadsheet wrong. Okay, we good. Moving on. Don't worry, Will. We didn't screw you over.
Yeah. We might still have. We have some more to go.
Yeah. Well, I was blaming you guys for not double checking me. Okay, moving on. His number 4 Microsoft bet. Forza Motorsport 7 will also show off the power of the Scorpio. Yeah.
Yep. Pretty much the first game to do so.
Yeah. And his final Microsoft prediction: the conference will end with a Halo 6 teaser trailer. No Halo 6 whatsoever.
Yeah, and poor Will, when we recorded it, he did not hear that they had explicitly said they weren't going to do it, so he just went ahead.
And he stuck with it.
Which I respect.
Yes. He believed.
So his total was
10 for Microsoft.
Highest yet out of all the ones we've said, right?
Yes. Yeah.
He's got some greens and yellows and everywhere. Really, the only one he got completely wrong, right, was the conference.
Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I didn't count the Sea of Thieves one.
5.
No, never mind. Running a Scorpion will launch.
So did Jeff do it or not? Will, he might have gotten screwed over. I'm just kind of vamping while he figures it out. So, but Will, that would be really bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I screwed up. Or actually, I don't know if I screwed up. Some of these were colored before I even looked at them. So I don't know what happened with this one, but he should get credit for Sea of Thieves, I believe. Do you agree, Darby?
I think it. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know what we were doing before, but he at least got the gameplay footage right. So,
yeah.
If there's a way to get a third of of whatever he's supposed to get there, what does that end up adding?
A point.
Okay.
So he has 11 total for Microsoft.
Okay.
Okay, so moving on to Nintendo. His Nintendo bets. Okay. Is Will's number one Nintendo bet. Mario Plus Rabbids will be unveiled at Nintendo's conference, not Ubisoft's. Wrong. I got points for that.
Right.
Suck it, Will.
So mean.
I gotta have something. Is number two the Nintendo bet. 3 more third-party games for the Switch are announced. It says this on here, but I was a little confused about it. I went back to look at our last video. He said in the conference specifically. So he got no points. The only one was Rocket League in the conference.
Right.
I checked for this one.
Right.
Will's number 3 Nintendo bet. Super Mario Odyssey is the highlight of the conference. Extended gameplay will be shown and will be delayed to a 2018 release date. He got a third credit for this, for the highlight of the conference. Extended gameplay was not shown during the conference, and it was not delayed.
Right. Yeah, the gameplay was shown, but it was in the treehouse, not the conference. Yeah.
And the trailer doesn't count as extended gameplay. I think we would all agree. Will's number 4 Nintendo bet. The DS will be mentioned 3 times or less. I don't think it was mentioned at all. So
especially not in the conference. Probably not in the entire thing. I mean, like,
well,
I guess Metroid, but like, didn't. Yeah,
and Ever-Ace. I mean, during the conference. No.
Yeah, but that doesn't even matter. So yeah,
that's what we were betting on.
Yep.
Or at least, for this bet. Will's number 5 and final Nintendo bet. Virtual Console will be given a release date, and it won't be released during the show or whatever. I guess that's what I mean. Virtual Console was not mentioned at all. No release date, so any Virtual Console thing doesn't matter unless you said it was not there.
Yeah, which I don't think any of us did.
So he got 3 for Nintendo.
Okay. On to third party.
Yes, third party.
From Mr. William Outlaw.
Yes. Will's number 1 third party bet. Wolfenstein, The New Order, or I don't think that's actually the name, but that's what he typed on here. Like New Colossus.
New Colossus. We know what he means.
Yes.
We know what he means.
Will be announced with a trailer and gameplay. A 2017 release.
All true.
All true. All right.
Yep.
Except for the name, but we're not going to count that.
I think he meant,
Yeah. we know what he meant. His number 2 third-party bet. A new BioWare IP will be shown, but there will be no release date. Yeah,
it's true.
I mean, it was 2018, but we're not. That's just a very broad window.
No date. The window they probably won't even hit.
Yeah. His number 3 third-party bet. Rocksteady will present a new game connected to DC Comics, probably at Sony's conference. No Rocksteady game. No DC Comics game.
And Jeff has said.
Yes. I want a Green Arrow again. Okay, number 4. A brand new Splinter Cell debuts at the Ubisoft conference. This was wrong, and Will was sad.
I think this was just kind of wishful thinking. Will really wanted it. I mean, it could have happened. It's been enough time, but
Yeah, but Ubisoft saw so much stuff. They didn't.
They were stacked already. We didn't even need it.
They were more stacked than we could have predicted.
Yep, and they were.
Okay. Will's final bet of E3 2017. His craziest bet.
Yes.
Crystal Dynamics Avengers game is Microsoft exclusive. It was not shown or mentioned at E3 at all. It is definitely not Microsoft exclusive.
Yeah.
At least that we know.
If it was shown, it probably was not going to be Microsoft exclusive.
So he got 9 total points for third party. So his total is 29.
With the corrections, 29. Okay.
Yep. Okay, so we are going to Darby's.
All right, this is it.
Yep. Okay, we're going to Darby's Sony bets. His number 1. Spider-Man will get a name and a spring 2018 release date. He got 2/3 credit for this. Because Spider-Man got a name, Marvel Spider-Man, and they just said 2018.
Generic 2018. That spring killed me.
Yes. So I gave him 2/3 credit. And I think he agreed to that.
Yeah, okay.
He would accept it.
Yeah. It's weird in this doc, like, orange means any partial point, so it's hard to tell what exactly the.
Yeah,
the
luckily, I'm
breakdown
remembering.
was. Yeah, I'm glad you're remembering.
I'm having to look at this like, why did I do that? Like, oh yeah. Okay. Darby's number 2 Sony bet. PSVR will be less than 10 minutes of the conference.
By the skin of my teeth.
It's like, what, 9 minutes?
It was like we were rounding up to 10. I was getting ready to lose that way. Like I was saying,
they showed one more trailer.
Yeah, even just like a title, I would have been done.
Okay, so Darby's number 3 Sony bet. No Death Stranding. That's right.
Thank God.
Yep. And Darby's number 4 Sony bet. Vita will not be said a single time in the conference.
It also helped that, like, I think the total talking in the entire conference was like 6 minutes. Like, there was like very little talking.
I don't even think Vitas were shown when they were showing their whole.
I don't think no.
Yeah, hardware
Vita
stuff.
was not, I could have said Vita will not even be acknowledged in the conference, and that also would have been right. So, is Vita dead? Question mark.
Yes. Moving on.
Not completely, but for the most part, yes. All of you are burning up.
The only thing more dead is the Wii U. Moving on. Sony number 5 bet. Last of Us Part 2 will be shown. Darby, didn't you just put this down because you had really nothing else? Like,
Yeah, all my bets had been taken, so I was like, I had to scramble and get something. Yeah.
That's Darby's only bet for Sony he got completely wrong. For a total of 12.33 points.
12.33.
Yep.
What a weird point thing.
Now, on to Microsoft for Darby. Darby's number 1 Microsoft bet. Crackdown 3 trailer will be shown with an October to November release date.
It is November.
Yes.
So, and there was a trailer.
I should make you pick a
month. And there was
month.
Terry Crews.
Yes.
I asked.
I know.
Everyone had veto power.
Yeah, it doesn't affect me anyway. Moving on. Darby's number 2 Microsoft bet. Cuphead will get a release date and a trailer. These happened.
Thank God. Will it hit?
Yeah.
It's September. I would hope so.
I mean, yeah. Darby's number 3 Microsoft bet. Conference will open with game footage, and they will say after the footage, it was running on Scorpio. Did not happen.
No, pretty much went right to Scorpio. They had some weird video of a girl with a bunch of air blowing her hair back in a dramatic fashion, and then Phil Spencer.
Yep.
So nope. I wanted a Sony type thing, but alas.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Darby's number 4. Sea of Thieves trailer incoming October. I guess there was a Sea of Thieves trailer. I did not mark this one. I think you did.
I don't know. You're the impartial judge. You did. You take care of this. I mean, what have we been saying before with the words trailer and like gameplay and stuff? Like, what have we been?
Oh yeah. Okay.
I mean,
we've been pretty. Okay, I will say this: we've been pretty specific against trailer versus gameplay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you marked this wrong for that reason.
Because
I didn't do this one.
I probably did.
It was already like that.
I don't remember at this point, but I probably did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, Darby agrees. Moving on. His final Microsoft bet: Borderlands 3 will be announced at the Microsoft conference. This is the Microsoft section. Wrong, Darby.
Oh yeah, sorry, I stopped paying attention. But yeah, you're right.
Pay attention to me.
I'm sorry.
I have needs.
I wish I was right. That would have been cool, but
okay.
No Borderlands.
So for Microsoft, Darby has 9 points. So just based off Sony and Microsoft, he's beating me.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on to Nintendo. Darby's number 1 Nintendo bet. Animal Crossing will be announced for Switch. Nope, it was not shown.
Nope. Why was that my number 1? Who knows?
It was a good guess. I mean, that's a game people expected.
Yeah.
Nintendo's just weird when they announce things and when they release things.
Yeah.
So it could be announced in January and come out in May for all we know.
Nintendo. Yeah, it is Nintendo.
Okay, his number 2 bet. Super Smash Bros. With all DLC characters and stages and new characters, including Inkling, will be announced.
Yeah, like I included all this. I included all this crazy stuff because I thought it was like a shoe-in that Smash Bros. Was going to be announced with all the like everything. I don't know, but
then Pokken was announced, and then we were less sure.
Yeah,
at least me.
Yeah.
Because they don't need too many fighting game ports at the same time.
What are you going to do?
Yep. Now, the wording for this one got Darby.
Killed me.
Yes. Darby's number 3 Nintendo bet. Retro's game will be a new Metroid game. He got 0 credit because he said Retro's game and not like a new Metroid game will be announced and it will be Retro.
For like the first E3 in like years and years and years, there was 2 Metroid games when usually Metroid's not even mentioned once. And yeah, I like completely screwed myself by saying it that way.
Yes. Wording is important.
It is important. Kids.
Remember that for next year.
Yep.
Or when we do PSX bets. Brainstorming on the show, guys. Productivity. Okay. Darby's number 4 Nintendo bet. Mother 3 port. Nope.
That wasn't gonna happen.
No. And it kind of ties into your number 5 Nintendo bet. Virtual console within a week of show. No. So
no virtual console at all.
If you've been paying attention to the last like 2 minutes, Darby got 0 points for Nintendo.
Not a big goose egg, giant goose egg. Was I the only one to come out of a thing with 0?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, well that hurts. That hurts to the point. Alright, so what was my total, Jeff?
Your total was 28.33.
So...
Oh, we forgot third party.
Did we? Alright, well, spoilers to the 28.33 unless there's something wrong with third parties. Third parties, let's do it, Jeff.
Well, okay.
We're just all out of order here, just let's go.
Darby's number 1 for third parties. Assassin's Creed trailer and October release date. There's an Assassin's Creed trailer, duh, and it is coming out in October. What helped Darby here is he didn't say Ubisoft.
Yeah. That was good. That was good.
Darby's number 2.
My wording helped that time.
Amy Hennig Star Wars game revealed with a 2018 release date.
Not mentioned at all, sadly.
His number 3. Crystal Dynamics Avengers will get a trailer. No. Number 4. No Red Dead at all.
I did not see any unless you did.
No.
Because I did have to, like... Because that was kind of an easy one. I remember in our predictions, I was saying, like, not even a commercial. It's not on the floor. There's no advertisements. It's just nothing. And I didn't see anything.
I don't think press saw it, so.
No.
Okay. And the last bet of the Nerds at Large E3 prediction special. New Bioshock game announced. Wrong.
So, 7
points for third parties.
Total points for third parties. So, the number that I already spoiled to you before is still correct. 28.33.
So, if you're paying attention, Will won
in a shocking turn of events
by .67.
And just a little peek behind the curtain here. Hold on.
I'm gonna text Will on air while we're recording this.
Okay, a little peek behind the curtain. If you're listening to this, you don't see. I have a milkshake right here in my hand. Until about like 10 minutes ago, we thought this was my milkshake.
I mean, it still is. You paid for it.
Well, yeah,
luckily, I didn't pay you.
I'm sorry, Will. I'm gonna eat this milkshake, but Will, we owe you a milkshake. I mean, and guys, this even like Will wrote a concession speech.
Yep.
Like he conceded. Like we were gonna read it on the air. We had a whole thing.
Well, we'll read it anyway because it'll be funny.
Yeah, it will be funny. Should we just call Will? Like I don't even know if they could hear him on the thing.
Probably not.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, William Outlaw is the winner of the Nerds at Large E3 Prediction Spectacular. He has won the Cookout Milkshake. Not this Cookout Milkshake, but a Cookout Milkshake that we will give to him. I'm still gonna eat this though. I'm sorry, Will.
I'm texting him right now. I'm hoping he reacts while we do this. Until then, I will read his
what would have been.
Also, part of the reason he did this was to give his thoughts on E3 since he hasn't been able to be here at all. Okay. This is what he said. Dear Nerds at Large listeners, I, Will Outlaw, was unable to attend the E3 debriefing and therefore cannot argue about how my arch enemy, Darby Hallman, has supposedly, he knew, beaten me by less than a point for our E3 2017 predictions. However, I respect the tally up by Jeff and will concede the victory.
You shouldn't have respected that.
You can't respect me, Will. Now you know. This year's E3 was disappointing, but we can't argue too much when we are in the midst of this fantastic season of games. Still, I'm surprised by the lack of, surprises this year, along with a more conservative amount of release dates announced. I was never expecting to get many points from Nintendo, but I still can't believe how much I bombed with the Sony predictions. I honestly thought all of those would be at least partially right, but perhaps Sony is planning on making PSX a bigger deal. Microsoft's show was good. Anthem! Even with a lackluster reveal of the Xbox One X. EA was pretty much EA. Ubisoft shocked with Beyond Good and Evil 2, and Bethesda's overall presentation was spectacular. Well, we need to talk about that. Even with minimal announcements that excited me personally, I had a great time keeping up with our predictions. Here's to next year. So yeah.
Well, that's what would have been in the world that I thought we lived in when I was the champion, but alas, I am not. So,
yeah, milkshake still.
I am eating a milkshake right now, and you're not, Will. You will be soon. But for right now, who's the real winner? That's what I want to know.
Not me. I don't get anything.
Well, thank you guys so much for listening to the Nerds at Large Gaming podcast this week. Be sure to go congratulate Will. He's on Twitter at JW_outlaw. I already have a brain freeze. And congratulate him on his victory. And, until next week, goodbye.
Goodbye.
We need to have a catchphrase, a trade-off.
We do. Hopefully Will be with us.
Yeah. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.